Hi, I'm Raya.
And I'm Shannon. And we are the Book Heroes. We are here to share our love of the great books that we are reading.
Today we're going to talk about this book, The Hero's Guide to Saving Your Kingdom by
Yay!
Chris Healy.
It's awesome.
It's a good one.
Love it. This story is a mashup of the characters from several fairy tales. We have Snow White, we have Cinderella, we have Rapunzel, and we have Sleeping Beauty and their princes. Each of the characters plays an important role in the story about saving their bards or the storytellers of their kingdoms from a horrible, horrible doom that they are all facing. So the bards are going to be their storytellers, and these characters meet all together. These different characters from these different stories meet together on their way to save their bards, trying to figure out how they're going to do this because it's each kingdom's bard has been kidnapped. Yes. So as they go along, they start to create this alliance between the 4 and 8, really 8 of them, in order to help each other out and find their specific bard. This really sounds like a good idea at the beginning, but it doesn't really work out the way they think it's going to. And their journey kind of goes a little hinky on the side. So you have to read the book to find out what really happens. It's very good. So what do you like about the story?
One of my favorite things about the story is the different personalities of the princes and the princesses and the other characters that get brought into the story. Mm-hmm. They're not what we would consider normal in a fairy tale. The author makes them all very unique.
Yeah.
So, for example, the 4 princes from the 4 fairy tales are Prince Frederick from Cinderella. He is very dainty. He does not like to get dirty. He does not like to get hurt. He does not like danger of any kind. So he is not the kind.
Sissy.
He is. He's not the kind of prince that you think would come in and save the day. We have Prince Duncan, who is Snow White's prince. He's very different. He's really
absent-minded.
Absent-minded, yes. He's very absent-minded. He likes to communicate with the animals. So he's always like, hey, let's get the squirrels to help us find something, or, just some really off-the-wall thing. But he's hilarious. You have Prince Gustav, who is Rapunzel's prince. He is the youngest of like 8 brothers or something, but he's this huge guy, and he just loves to get in fights. That's what he loves to do. If anything's happening, he's always just like, let's get in a fight. Let's fight these people. And then you have...
He's always trying to prove himself.
Yeah, yes. And then you'll have Prince Liam, who is Sleeping Beauty's prince, and he loves to be the hero, the classic hero. Come in with a plan. I'm going to save the day. Everybody's going to love me. They're going to have a parade for me later.
Yes.
So that's the kind of guy he is.
It never works out the way he thinks it's going to.
It never works out the way he thinks it's going to. Yes.
Yes. And then the other thing I like about it too is the princesses are not what you would consider a classic princess.
They're never a damsel in distress.
Never, ever.
They can totally save themselves.
They like science, and they like, they can ride horses, and they want to fix things, and they kind of are the exact opposite of what we would consider a princess. They're not prissy or anything like that. I mean,
they're doing a lot of things behind the scenes too, to kind of help the princes out with saving the kingdom. So they're really kind of like the unsung heroes of the story.
Right. They're not being saved. They're doing the saving. It's kind of the opposite of what we would normally think of, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. One of the things that I like is because this is really told from the prince's point of view rather than the other way around. We normally see the story told from the princess's point of view, but this whole thing is told from how the princes feel and what they're thinking and all of their issues, and that they don't like this or what they like. And so I think it's a really unique way to tell the story rather than from our regular, fairy tale point of view.
Yes. I also like that throughout the book, there are different pictures in here. When I first read this book, I listened to the audiobook and I loved it. So if you're an audiobook listener, I would highly recommend this one. But if you're not, and if you want to read it, that's fine too. So there's lots of really fun pictures. This is the Bandit King. He's a 10-year-old kid. And so there's lots of really funny things that happen in there with him. And so just throughout the book, there's just various pictures
explaining
that show you different things, different monsters, the different characters, different some things that don't actually pertain to anything in the story.
It just makes me laugh.
just
I mean,
fun.
they're awesome. And some of the names they give them are hysterical. Some of the names are just off the wall. It's awesome. One of the other things that I kind of like too, that goes along with the pictures, is the Christopher Healy does a lot of the inside jokes. Like when he's describing Prince Charming, they're all named Prince Charming, by the way. Every chapter title in the story is called Prince Charming Learns to Do, or Prince Charming Does This, or Prince Charming Grows. It's all Prince Charming. So you don't know who's doing anything until you get into the chapter. But one of the things that there's always these inside jokes that he's always kind of playing on in the pictures. And he brings in other fairy tales that you're like, wait, what? Oh, that's fun. I spent my whole time reading this laughing out loud. I mean, I think I was in a Starbucks when I was reading part of this, and I was laughing so hard. And people were like looking at me like, what are you doing over there? And I was like, I'm reading this awesome book.
When I was listening to it and I was in my car, I was totally cracking up the whole
busting
time.
up. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Notice we really like those books that make us giggle. So very fun stuff. So, well, we hope you enjoyed this segment of the Book Heroes.
You can find this book at your library or a favorite bookseller.
So be a book hero and go out and save this book.